Hey, Section 4. Hope you guys are doing well in this first week and you're finding out how to negotiate the course or navigate the course if you have never done this before. Or if you've already done this before, this is all probably old hat to you and you're just moving right along and there's no big deal. If there are questions, please do not hesitate to reach out because uh, you can feel awfully alone if you do not have the ability to ask questions or to solve a problem and relatively quickly. So I encourage you, if you get stuck, please reach out. So the reason, there's a couple of things that some housekeeping things I want to talk about to get this off. I will do a weekly wrap up at the end of the week video like this. Typically, I'm giving you a couple this week that will not be characteristic. Okay, that's just to get us going. But I think to get us going off on the right foot is very important. So first thing I want to do is I want to make sure I introduce the FITs. Both Damon and Kristen will be working FITs, standing for Fellowships and Training. Will be working to help me help you digest the information, process the information, and interact. What's going to happen is that they're going to be assigned to a group, a particular group, and I will be sending out those group assignments later today with this information. Those groups will be down here in the small group discussion forums that will start week 2, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. There'll be 5 people in a group. I will take 2 groups. Kristen and Damon will take each one group. They will be helping facilitate conversation. Okay, that's their role. They have a lot of great information and are great resources. We will be switching, so for example, I will not have Alpha and Bravo the entire time. I will be taking Charlie and Delta as well. So you'll get a flavor for all of our opinions, and I will be also peeking in at Charlie and Delta as well. But both Damon and Kristen can do a great job. I just want to remind everyone that your responsibility is to post your original post by midnight Wednesday night, when Pacific Standard Time, if we get down to brass tacks. And then then people, especially this first week, I would ask that you respond to 2 other people. Pick 2 other people and interact with them. You can certainly do more, but minimum of 2. And then as we get into groups, you'll also be asked to interact with 2 people in your group where you will respond or comment on something in their post to engage in discussion. 2 people will be engaging you in discussion as well. Your job from Thursday to Saturday is to answer questions that may be posted to you about what you said or make comments or what have you. Do not on Saturday. Make sure that you leave any open threads, right? So if somebody engages you in conversation, make sure that you respond back to them by Saturday at noon. With that being said, people, please do your darndest not to initiate a conversation on Saturday morning. I don't think that's fair to a lot of people. Do your darndest to get those conversations started early. And I will argue, while I'm saying this as a way to tell you that this is how it needs to be, the most learning will occur if you do that. So if you're looking to get the biggest bang for your buck out of this course, start interacting early, because that will only lead to further conversation. So, and we want to wrap it up by Saturday noon Pacific time. The groups, like I said, are coming out. I'll be sending those out as part of this video email. Pay attention to, because there's going to be a group CAT, article review that you'll be expected to do. That'll be, I think, starting in week 2 week 2. Now, the main reason I want to do this was about Dropbox. So you all have been given access to Dropbox to get your material, which starts here. And we've talked about this in another previous video where you can go and this is where you'll access all of the course articles and all of the handouts and some extra reading materials. However, there's another part of Dropbox that's really important. So if you, and I would encourage you a lot to do this, are going to post some response, perhaps here. And you want to, and we would title this Kramer, and then maybe whatever the response for, SAPS, SAPS. And then I would answer these questions. And in answering these questions, let's say I find an article that I would like to attach. Okay, so let's say I'll just write, check out this article. Okay, now, this article I want to attach. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in my Dropbox. You've all been given access, and hopefully you've seen this, a sharing folder for Section 4 for Dropbox. And now this is different because in this is where we're going to put our articles. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that if you have an article to share and you're in group alpha, now this first week, don't sweat it. The article can be, you can have them all in week alpha if you want. And if it's week 1, you're going to put your article, and I'll choose an article. This one, this is a New Cleveland, or not a New Cleveland, but yeah, it is a Cleveland article that about the reliability of shoulder examination that I'm probably going to end up sharing with you guys. Just came out. I'm going to have it here. And what I'd like to do is I would like to share it with you. So in this, I'm going to click on the share button. I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to close it. I'm going to go into this. When I say check out this article, I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to click on the link article, or the link tab button. I'm going to paste the link in. So now I'm going to I might comment on this article like, do you really believe blah, 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 right? About whatever I want to say about this article. So then when somebody's reading this article, they will just, if they would like to have it, they can click on it. And I've got to make the link live. So I post to the forum. And then when I go to click on the article, what happens is then it takes me to the Dropbox and I can get the article and anybody could have it. So if I want to say, hey, and I will do this a lot, I encourage others, if you have access to the original article. Now, sometimes you don't, and if you don't, please ask me because I could perhaps get you that article. I have access to lots of articles. As a faculty at the University of Minnesota, I can have their whole biomed library. So as long as you're not asking me for 5 articles every week, I can get you a lot of stuff. So point being is that we would ask that you support some of your findings, your comments, your thought processes by going out and finding supportive literature. And when doing so, and doing that supportive literature, you're going to, you can post it into Dropbox and then link from Dropbox into your original post. So hopefully that makes sense to people. Again, you are going to, let me just do this again. You are going to, I can edit this. You are going to use this button to help paste in the information that you've placed here, right? So it's sharing, and I just dragged and dropped this article in under week 1 alpha, okay? So I dragged and dropped it in, then I want to share it, right? Oh, and that's another thing. They would like you to title, when you do put these in, they would like the articles to be titled, put the author first and then the title of the article. And if it's a long title, just abbreviate it. It's not the end of the world if you don't do that, but and you would do that when it's in its PDF format, right? So here we go. So for example, this is this is the Burns article, right. So I could title this Burns Inter-Rater Reliability of the, and then you can just do that, something like that, so that we know, and then you can drag and drop, and you can drag and drop that article into, so I could do that, drag and drop it in, it's carried over, and there it is, Burns Inter-Rater Reliability, okay? So this way, other people can get your articles. It's not just for you. So I would encourage you, maybe you won't even read my post that I posted to somebody. I would encourage you every week at the end of the week to go through and gather up this literature and, again, in your spare time, do some reading. So hopefully that makes sense to people. If it doesn't, please let me know and I can do my best to clarify. But we want you to use supportive literature. We want you to link those literature articles. We used to keep them in Moodle, but we found that it took up way too much space. So now everything is dropped into Dropbox, which you all have access to as part of a sharing file, section 4. And if you don't have access to that, please do let me know that you all have access to that. So hopefully there aren't any questions, but if there are, do ask, and you can reference back to this video if you need to. So that's it. That's all I had. So we went over the FITs who are going to be helping us. We have also talked about noon or midnight on Wednesday, and then noon on Friday. We talked about your responsibility having 2 response posts to other people's, and then also that the groups will be coming out along with this video, so look for those. And if any questions are to follow, certainly, and I'm quick to get on the phone too, right? So it doesn't always have to be via email, because sometimes you just can't get your points across quick enough, or there's something that gets lost in translation. So do understand that I'm willing to jump on the phone quickly, and we can just share a screen or what have you, and it goes relatively quickly. So I look forward to reading. I've started to dig into some people's responses. I like what I see. I am assuming